All right, so we addressed the issues with Project Teach. And so let's introduce ourselves. My name is Dennis Bresniak.
I'm Israel, come in, guys.
I'm Mike Lure.
I'm Lucy Kamatoni and Jenna Howard.
Alright, so what are the problems we're trying to solve here? The biggest problem that we saw when we learned about this project was that these young mothers don't have access to important information when they're outside of school. Like, some of them may have smartphones, but they don't always have Wi-Fi or data access, so they can't always look stuff up when they're at home. So, and we also learned that a big problem was they would accidentally double dose their children. So these kids would have like a fever and a cold. So they would give their kid like Tylenol and any other medicine for acetaminophen.
Dayquil.
Like Dayquil or NyQuil. And then that would be like accidental double dosing and their kids could get more sick. So our system tries to solve this problem. And we also want to give general information about pregnancy and early childhood milestones that they might not know about. So here's our project effect. Obviously the project Teach students and their families. This will give them another source of information. The school administrators and educators at Project Teach, who would hope that if they use this, that they would learn about the system and help the students. And the TCNJ nursing students, if you continue this partnership, they can help out as well.
All right, so let's get to the main topic of our presentation. So, what did we do to address the medications issue? I'm going to tell you what we did. So, we made a text-it-in app, and it solves two main problems. The first thing it does is it identifies the active ingredients and common brand names used to treat particular symptoms, such as fever and pain, nasal congestion, and excessive gassiness. And moms therefore will know which medicine to give their kids based on which symptom the kid is experiencing. And it also tells them, like Mike mentioned earlier, that certain medicines might have the same active ingredient and you don't expect it. Like, for example, Dayquil might have acetaminophen and Tylenol might have it. So your kid's like, your kid needs to sleep, so you give him NyQuil. But you also give him Tylenol because he has a fever, and then next thing you know, who knows what's going to happen to the kid. So you got to know that double dosing is very dangerous, and this app tells you that. So the other thing that it does is it gives the different forms of common medicine, specifically geared towards children. And the 4 ones that we programmed into it are Tylenol, Advil, Zyrtec, and Sudafed. So if you type in Tylenol, and I'm going to show you this later, but if you type in Tylenol, it's going to give you children's Tylenol oral suspension, infant's Tylenol oral suspension, infant's Tylenol melt-away chewable tablets. So all these different forms of the same medicine. And again, this helps to avoid double dosage, so they don't give 2 medicines that are really the same, the same parent. The parent medication is Tylenol, let's say, and then it's like offsprings or like children's and infants, so they know not to give both of those. And like I said, there's a note that tells them don't do that. So demo. So now I'm going to actually show you, how does it work?
So quick question. So so this looks like it's an SMS app as opposed to a smartphone app.
To clarify, this works through SMS. So you would text a phone number and it would text you back and you could have like a conversation with it.
And so why did you guys choose SMS as opposed
because
to?
a lot of people don't have internet connection, like he mentioned. So everybody has texting.
Right.
Not everybody, but most people have texting. So that's why it's more widespread.
Even if they do have a smartphone, they might not have Wi-Fi at home or a data plan. So we figured that SMS was the smarter option, especially for like a simplistic thing like this. We didn't need a full-fledged app.
Right. And this thing can work with any phone. You can have one of those Nokia, one of those like bars, like a candy bar phone. I don't know if anybody has it, but if you do, it'll work.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like so there's no restrictions. As long as you have something that can text, you're good.
That's great.
So let's actually go through how it works. So it says that you text Spanish to get instructions in Spanish, text English to get instructions in English. I don't speak Spanish. I'm going to show you how it works in English. So
It does work in Spanish.
yeah, it works. I feel more comfortable explaining it.
I would know what it said. So.
I know that much, but not. Okay, anyway. So it tells you, please text the number of either the type of medicine you want info about, like fever, pain relief medicine, decongestant, and it even says stuffy nose relief, because maybe someone doesn't know what decongestant is. That's fine. Stuffy nose relief, there you go. Or gas relief. And it also gives you can also text a specific medication like I talked about earlier, and it gives you the different forms of it. So let's start with the symptoms. So let's say you want to do something that solves fever and pain issues. So you type in 1, and it tells you, what are the 2 main active ingredients used to treat fever and pain issues? The first one is acetaminophen. What are the different brand names? Panadol, Tylenol, Anacin, Mapep, Effermel, Mejrolito, Feverol, Esifen. You can see the list goes on, and it tells you all of these. Now these are not all the ones that exist in the world, because that's impossible for me to know all the medicines that have this, but these are the main ones. And it also tells you, like I said twice earlier, because this is a key point. Medicines that you might not expect it to have this, but it actually does, like NyQuil, Dayquil, Robitussin, they all might have acetaminophen. And the other medicine that's used to treat fever pain is ibuprofen, which is Advil, Midol, Neoprofen, Caldolor, Motrin, Select, Ibu, and Profen. And it tells you, if you want info on another medicine, text yes. And then, very important, it gives you a note. When giving your child multiple medicines in a short period of time, make sure they don't both have acetaminophen or both have ibuprofen. This may cause very serious health problems. So, I want to show you now how it works for the second category. So, more info, text yes. I'm going to text yes. So, now I'm going to select Tylenol, number 4. And it's going to give me the different forms of Tylenol. And it says, again, don't give your kid 2 of these medicines in a short period of time. So here are the different forms of Tylenol, like I mentioned earlier. If you want more info, text yes. And so on and so forth. And that you could, just to test it out, if you want to, anybody who wants to, text MED to 609-256-6896. Again, the number is 609-256.
John will try it.
You want to yeah, you could do this in a
You have a candy bar?
No.
Yeah, okay.
I have an iPhone. I do. I even got an iWatch.
While we're waiting for people, just to clarify some budgetary aspects of it.
Yeah.
This works through a system called Text It In, which you pay by the text.
Oh.
So for each 1,000 texts is $20 per 1,000, which seems like a lot, but it does add up quick when you're texting back and forth, and you might have multiple people using it. But there is bulk pricing if you wanted to buy like a big package of texts.
I'm gonna surge your bill tonight, I know that.
And we also work through a system called Twilio.
You texting a lot, are you?
We're using a system called Twilio, which is like it's like a phone number that you don't need a phone for. It lives online, and that costs like $1 a month. It's that phone number. Instead of us having an actual phone, it's a phone number that works online. It works the same as a normal phone.
Yeah.
Or you could use it like an Android prepaid phone, but that would be more money.
So is it working? I mean, obviously it works, because otherwise it wouldn't be presented. But it's just nice to see it for yourselves.
John?
You test it out.
Yeah, I made Med into Ned, auto completed.
Oh, you can
It
do
should still-
any word, it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's
You
what I
can text
figured, yeah. I thought
So
maybe-
Ned worked?
Yeah, Ned.
You can text Ned, you can text John, Bill, anything.
Okay.
Anything?
Literally anything. You can type in anything you want. Like, you can even curse at it, they'll still
I
talk.
got to the English part, and I told it English, but I hadn't done anything past English.
It took a minute for me too. I just got it though.
Okay.
Yeah, it might take, it
Maybe
takes
because
a little bit of
everyone's
time.
trying to do it, and it probably isn't.
There we go, you're right.
I can't imagine your cell phone reception's any better here than it is
Yeah.
across the way.
Yeah. So the point is that using Twilio for the phone number and Text It In for the flow of the messaging, you guys are able to construct this system, and it's all sort of web-based in terms of the development.
You can edit the
So there's no
flow.
hardware or anything like that they need to
I
buy.
can even show how the flow, how easy. I mean,
Well,
you can get.
what was really smart is you're right, they don't have Wi-Fi, don't have Wi-Fi at the school, the moms probably don't have Wi-Fi in their homes, they probably don't have data.
Yeah,
They have a cell phone, it's pretty much texting and
Yeah.
calling.
it's great.
Yeah, so that was good.
And as you can see, it's like very visual.
It's very visual. You basically just type in the text you want it to show, and then add like a couple variables which they would text you, and it's very simple.
Yeah, it's messy, but it's simple. It's
So-
honestly, the hardest part of this is making it all fit, so it's one
Into
thing
one
doesn't go on
screen.
another thing.
Yeah.
But actually, thinking through it. Well, the hardest part is thinking through it logically, but the technical side of it is pretty easy to do.
What you're saying is from a content management, if you wanted to change the content, you would just go into that environment and change
Literally
that.
just edit the text box.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
okay.
Anybody can do
So
it.
no programming really
No,
involved?
caveman can
Right,
do it. Anybody
okay.
can do it.
Okay.
Literally, I'm just saying, like, as long as you can type in a box, you can do it.
Okay, all right.
So if you can't, then you can't. But-
Okay,
Okay,
good to know.
next, moving on.
Okay, so using these same systems, we built an app for the second issue that we came across for milestones. So basically, our texted in app provides information on milestones for children that the mother should expect, and also warning signs they should look out for in their child. Like at a certain age, if they're not holding their own head up, they should bring them to the doctor, things like that. And we also incorporated like a monthly notification. So every month it'll send them like an update, like what you should be looking at for this month in your child. And also while they're still pregnant too, we incorporated those milestones too. So even if they don't have the kid yet, like what they should be expecting like during each part of their pregnancy.
So this is a demo.
So, you gotta go. All right.
So the first one is gonna ask again if you wanna text one, if you want English, text one, or if you want it in Spanish, text two. So you can text one. After that, it's gonna ask you if you want information regarding pregnancy after. If you want information after pregnancy or information during pregnancy. So we could say after pregnancy. So test two. Then it was gonna ask you how old is your child, and then you gotta answer based on months.
It's in months for the system,
Yeah.
because it's just easier. if
Most
you
of
have
them
it
know it in months anyway, if you
Yeah.
ask them.
Yeah.
a
Some
mom.
people-
Yeah.
So let's say the text four. And then it gives a lot of information about each like part of the babies, and it tells you like a warning sign what you should do if this isn't happening, and if you want to know information more about another age, you can ask again, and then you can say yes, it does.
So the whole flow is kind of like you can either look up the current age of your child or look up any other month. It's very like flexible. You don't have to just like only research like
The current
the
age.
current age.
Yeah. And we got all this information from cdc.gov, the Center for Disease Control, so it's all like reliable information.
Yeah, and it talks about like communication, milestones, development, like physical development, things like that. So.
Just all inclusive.
So what did you put in there for pregnancy?
Yeah.
Just
Or during
curious,
pregnancy.
during
Other
pregnancy?
reason?
I don't know what number.
So during pregnancy one.
Yeah.
So how much months
Let's
have?
say 5.
5?
Yep.
And gives you another list of what to expect.
Okay, cool. So this is more like what moms, like, what's happening to moms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To make sure everything's going the way it should and there's
Good.
Mhm.
nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can also try it out. You text
Yeah.
609-256-6367.
This number is different from the other number.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
I wrote it down.
Yeah, we split them up just because it's a lot of information.
Yeah, for development reasons, but we did in like the beginning, we think it would be best to, in the end, like integrate them both. So the app would ask you, do you want information on medication or milestones, and then would go like branch down from there.
So, why did we come up with these solutions? Like we said before, a lot of these mothers don't have internet or Wi-Fi or a mobile data plan, so we wanted to make it as easy as possible. Anyone can use this with a cell phone, so even if you have a prepaid flip phone, you can still get this information. We wanted to make it available for everybody, and it's really cheap and easy to use and easy to develop, so you can add whatever information you need to add. This app can even turn into anything else using Textedin. So, and we included Spanish and English since most of the students do speak Spanish. So this is talking more about Textedin and Twilio. On the document I gave you, like I said before too, there are prices on there specifically, and it talks about how you would add information and things like that.
So we use a link to our documentation.
And the documentation is just the document you have there.
Yeah. Yeah, and you gave me links to what, cause
Yeah.
we were looking at it.
And hopefully we'll have video
Any questions?
of this. Actually, I have a question, and I think you addressed this, but I think I might have been distracted.
Not a problem.
The subscription aspect. So did I?
I can talk about that.
Okay, thanks.
So, we talked about that briefly. It hasn't been implemented yet, but what we wanted to do was, at the end of the whole flow, you can opt in to a subscription. So every month, based on how old your child is currently, it'll send you text message notifications saying, this is what you should expect. Like, this is like how, like warning signs too, like, if your child is doing this, it might not be normal or healthy. So instead of always having to refer back to the application, if mothers forget the number or they just forget about the app, you can opt into subscribing. So every month you do get little reminders and things like that.
So you're like preemptively reminded
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the current stage of things. Right. Okay.
It's just one less thing for them to remember, to have to, you
Yeah.
know, go in and do
Yeah.
it, but
It's good.
Alright, yeah, that's it.
Okay. Great job, guys. Thank you.